not too much going on the dash, you know, headlights, windscreen wipers. The heating works when the engine's warm and not before. I just love the simplicity of it all. My passion for Porsches and Volkswagen, anything air-cooled, probably developed when I was a young lad watching Herbie films, where Herbie beat the Ferraris. And anyone who knows my background knows I was born into a Ferrari restoration company. And when a road trip coincided with my dad putting some miles on a V12 Ferrari or a Lamborghini Countach, I was often dropped off at school in one and loved those cars. And I've been very lucky as a kid to have grown up next to them. Funnily enough, I ended up doing the interior on the original car that Herbie beat. It was a Ferrari 250 Tour de France. That was a great highlight of, well, one of the highlights of my trimming career. But when I saw a Volkswagen Beetle, a fun looking shape of a car, beating all these cars, my head was turned. And I remember coming home and telling my dad what car I want to get for my first car. And we had to sit down and have a chat. 16 years old, got a Volkswagen Beetle, and in my own capabilities and the skills I had then, I went about making it look as beautiful as I could. So I painted it turquoise, I had pink wheels on it. I didn't know anything about lowering a car or modifying it that courageously, but I had a backward sticker made on the front windscreen that said, "Get a fucking move on." And I thought that was like pushing the limits then. Anyway, I later that year learned how to park it into a lamppost, and I really felt down and gutted about that. So I saved up, and what did I buy? Another Volkswagen Beetle. This time I really went about changing it and customizing it. So I took the rain gutters off, like cut all the strength out of the car. I removed the seams that went down the roof and down the swage lines, and put suicide doors on it, lowered it. I painted it a wild, hallucinating colour, and then set about doing the interior the same way. And I had a lot of fun in that car. Spent a lot of nights sleeping in it. We partied in it. We went to Run to the Sun in Newquay, Bug Jam at Santa Pod, and had really great formative years growing up in that car. They always got you home. I mean, I've had throttle cables, clutch cables snap, and we managed to fix it by the side of the road and had plenty of good years. So it was a great car to start my career with. I think I got £3,000 for it, and that was a lot of money then, and enough to buy my first Porsche, which was a 356A from 1959, and that needed a big restoration. Once I got the paint off of that, it had a small crash in the front, needed a lot of body work. I had to save up all these drips and drabs of money I could save between partying to buy these bits. It took me 11 years to restore it. That coincided with starting my business and buying my first house. So I sold that for £50,000, which was also a lot of money then. I remember him asking me, "Why are you asking so much money for this?" With £50,000 for a 356A, sort of the late 90s. I think the going rate was sort of around £35,000 for a good one. I said, you know, I never planned to sell this car. I put my heart and love into it, and I wanted to be buried in it. But unfortunately, life doesn't always play those cards. Well, thankfully. I always wanted to buy another 356 when the time allowed. And in 2016, with my father-in-law, we put some money into buying this car, which was a Californian, as you can see, a left-hand drive 356B from 1962. And we've restored it, metal work, painted. The engine was really great. We've given it a full service and done the carburetors. We've trimmed this car absolutely back to factory. So as you can see from the grains of vinyl we've used, to the perforation on the seats, the headlining, I haven't changed anything. It's been not customised one bit. It's exactly how it left the factory. Hear that V12 sing.
What engine has it got?
4 cylinders, not 12. I'm just going to find a nice place to pull over. then I'll talk you through the interior of the car. I was very fortunate when this car came into my ownership. It was a very original, just tired, dilapidated car. So with the refreshing of the paint, the metal work we done, and the interior and engine, it's brought it up to, you know, just beautifully original spec. When I've remanufactured this headlining, I've taken a bit more time. I've folded the material over and stitched through the holes in the perforations. So when you open up the headlining, the holes are absolutely straight. I've matched the vinyl to the original. So as you can see, the seat centers were perforated and the vinyl grain. Also, the carpets are a German box weave carpet with black herringbone cloth borders. The seats in the back fold down for added luggage, for helping you on touring events. As you know, it's a rear engine car and there's boot space in the front. It's really a fun little cabin. It's a really easy cabin to keep on top of, you know, just to hoover. These carpets are so hardy. And the interior, we've got a beautiful vinyl cleaner that we make in-house, and it just brings this interior up to the factory standard. It's got a nice light sheen to it. I really recommend you use it. I thoroughly enjoyed the car. I've enjoyed the journey of restoring it. Where the thrill for me is finding the parts, it's meeting the people, and it's seeing the car come together and dreaming about the colour scheme, and it's been done now. And it's probably time to part with it and let the car have a new owner and enjoy its future. I'm off to buy a Type 34 Karma Gear because, as everyone in the world knows, it is the best car. Ciao!